Okay, this is the Angolan Civil War, 1988, and this is episode number 7, and we're continuing the offensive by the South, or we're not continuing. The South African offense is continuing against the Cuban and rebel forces. I suppose we're not really rebels at this point in this country of Angola. So here we go. As you can see from the strategic map, these are the, we have 4 battle locations that we have open for us. It looks like this one has fewer enemy troops coming into it. We only basically have infantry in the bottom here. Here we have a whole bunch of infantry units that are going to come in, and that doesn't bode well for us. In this location we have appears to be tanks and infantry coming into this location. And then over here we have, looks like, well, it's hard to, there doesn't seem to indicate what it is over here. Here though we have tanks, infantry, and appears to be some type of command with possibly some kind of armored cars or something like that. I think what we're going to do is we're going to fight this battle first, since we have some tanks in it and some support, and maybe we'll be able to use those tanks in one of these subsequent battles down here. So that's what we're going to try first. Here in these tactical map, we have our forces are already aligned here, and with one enemy thrust coming from the east. It appears there's another thrust coming to the south here. I'm not exactly sure what they are doing in that sense. These vehicles, what are these vehicles? These are a truck. Trucks! Okay, that's probably what this one is over here. So let's see what these guys are. That's a truck. Well, no, we're back over to here. Okay, we seem to be having trouble there. Technical difficulties, I think is the term. So let's see what these guys are. Okay. Motor rifle squads. Well, these look a little bit more robust in terms of what they are. I kind of like these guys. They seem to be... These guys almost look like they're... I think I'll move this character over here. And this guy... here. Maybe I should put them back a little bit more. I'd rather have them some cover. How about you? Are you in enough cover? Well, the troops get a little bit of cover here. I don't know. I think this actually is better. Okay, so these guys are going to provide flanking attacks. It's been a while since I've looked at these kind of troops. Here's another armored car. These are, what are you? Infantry squads. They're kind of out in the open here. These guys are, these are our tanks. They're dug in here. It looks like our infantry is setting up a blocking set. We have our forces to the right over here. Those are the BRTs, I think, which is, I think, what these are. We have our tanks here. We're kind of vulnerable to anything coming at us from the north here. And definitely they could if they wanted to. With these guys, these are more BRTs. Let's go back to what these guys are. Now this is a village here in the center, a settlement it's called. Oh, novel. And I think what I'm going to do is, this is a truck. I think what I'll do is move these two guys. There's an anti-tank gun here. Right here. And an armored car. So we've got actually a fairly robust kind of defense here. Let's see. Yeah, they have no cover, man. That's just not good. I think I'll put them back here. I gotta remember, yeah, I gotta put them in the trees here. Okay, so we kind of have a hole in our forces in the sense that we don't have literally 100% coverage between these 2 points. However, we have a fairly strong force here, anti-tank guns and armored cars and some infantry. One of the best combined arms things that I've seen yet. And we have a force along here that hopefully when the enemy comes through it'll be a kill box. We do have tanks here. I do intend to leave them entrenched. I don't see putting these guys out in the open so they can get hammered by superior tank forces. The only really successful battle I've had against the South African forces has been because of combined anti-tank guns and tanks entrenched. So we're going to maintain that. And what about this? Who is this? I think I'll move these guys here. I'm going to leave a blocking force here of these 3 vehicles, just in case somebody decides to visit from the south. I mean, there is a line here, which might suggest that they might come through that way. So we're going to leave something in the south here as sort of a backup. We're totally vulnerable up here if they decide to come through that. I'm assuming, there's that word, that this is the area that they're going to hit us at directly from the east. So we're going to go ahead on that assumption and see how it falls. Okay. Here's our forces. This just give you a view of our tank forces here. Now these guys are basically acting as a screen in front of us, the infantry units and the armored vehicles. So I think we're ready to go. This will give you sort of an overview of what we're doing. Here's the we have a static, well, not static. We have a mobile flank control over here with several armored cars. We have an attack force here that can be moved in, but it's in cover of trees. Here we have armored cars and anti-tank guns that are staggered along this line to catch the enemy as they run into this location here. This area is relatively open, so it's a good place for a kill zone if we can get them into the box and they don't overwhelm us with massive forces as they have in the past. I think that's going to be the big issue here is the how many forces they bring to bear on them, or us, and whether or not we can slow them down enough that we can bring to bear our artillery and our tank forces. So let's see how it goes. It's 1100 hours and 26 minutes, and the battle has begun. I see flares off to the east. There they are. We should start to see the enemy coming through fairly soon. Also, it appears, based on the topographic map here, that this area seems to be slightly higher. We are on a north-facing slope in this location here. Enemy contact. Armored car. The battle has begun. Oh, he got hit. Hatch open. They don't seem to be returning fire. They've probably been badly damaged. Alright. We're taking hits. They have tank forces coming up on us. And armored cars. They have quite a few tanks, it looks like. Alright. I do have like a column of tanks. They have, well, they don't have a few, they got a lot. One of their tanks just was taken out. And you can see that it just got struck again. Why, they are not... we're going to need every one of these guys. We've lost 2 of our APCs here. There's that whistling again. We're bringing up these APCs. At this point, we can't afford to hold back. Our tanks are firing. Boy, this is a close-in battle right off the bat. With this open ground, that's not surprising. We're losing our vehicles. These hold-down APCs are, wow, we got here just in time to see it get shot up. We've lost most of our armored personnel carriers. Lost one of our tanks. The second tank has been lost. Their tanks are making mincemeat out of us. This is pretty close to the other battle, except this one may go faster. We are taking them out, but they certainly have the forces, though, to wipe us up. Their enemy forces are moving south into our line, our defensive line here. Looks like they're taking out our APCs. Wow. It's pretty much a close-in battle at this point. It's our infantry forces against them. These guys look like they're pretty much panicked out. Their tanks and armored cars are coming in. Their tanks are cutting through. And we are down in the ceasefire mode. Whoa. Minor defeat. We started off with 896 soldiers. They started off with almost double our number. We only had 7% of our forces left after the battle, and they had 69% of theirs. We had 4 territories before, 4 territory points before the battle. We had 0 afterwards. They had 16, and they ended up with 6. We lost 65. They lost 16. Killed 31. 9. Let's see. We lost 2 tanks and 11 vehicles. They lost 1 tank and 2 vehicles. Let's see. Score times 10. We got a 0, and they got 141. I'm not sure why that would be considered a minor defeat. But I guess we're going to take it, right? Well, it was a very interesting battle. I was hoping that because we had superior forces in comparison with what we normally have, I thought we would do a little bit better in this, particularly since we were entrenched, and that was not the case. They, again, were able to bring in superior forces in terms of, well, they basically outnumbered us 2 to 1. The number of tanks they had was just staggering. plus with their normal armored cars and backed up with their infantry forces. We gave them a good shot at it, but not enough to stop them. Frankly, I don't even think we slowed them down in that regard. So we are losing these battles. We're going to have to, I had thought, in particular, in this particular game, because of the advantages and the combined arms that we had to bring to this battle, I would not give up the entrenched positions and go around try to, draw them off. I would only do that if I only had armored cars. With tanks and any tank, I think we were in a better position to be able to hurt them and in a entrenched battle. But in this case, they just overwhelmed us and knocked us out of the game. So if you enjoyed the game, please give a like. If you haven't subscribed already, please do so, and we'll see you on the battlefield.